Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. When women say there is a shortage of good men, they really mean a shortage of men they find attractive. Now, y'all know me. I focus more on a man developing himself on this channel, but I said depending on the issue, I will point out something about women. And you know, and just to be clear, because some guys they would like it that way. I'm just talking about women, but like, what good is it if you ain't focused on yourself? This your world. Man make himself better than he has leverage over which women he wants to deal with. So it's better a man focuses on himself. But I still got to point this out because it's something I've seen so many times. Now, I had mentioned I was on one of those, I was on a Facebook panel. It was actually simulcast on YouTube, but I ain't giving y'all any more information. Too many dudes go over there wrong, not in their right mind. But so I was on this thing, and the women were talking about, men with money. And I specifically said, well, there's plenty of guys out there who got money, who got resources. You don't have to pay for them. They ain't homosexuals. They said, and the women were straight up. They said, we're not attracted to them. I was like, okay. And then this morning, when I was going through IG, I was going through something. They're going to give away the person. Let's just say the person's prominent, but he had asked the women, how come they weren't having sex? Because he had a previous post talking about how it was their sex life, and the women like, nah, we ain't getting it. And the dude said from that previous post, 80% of the women weren't having sex. So he asked them why. And they were just talking about the men, saying, they trying to be players and all of that. And I'm going to call bullshit. See, here's the problem. Women will say there's wait a minute, let me just check something. Oh yeah, about time for that oil change. Anyway, women will always say, oh, this sure is a good man. The men ain't going after me and everything. And that's why I call into question that whole thing about body count. Because even though I've said several times women want to have sex, they want it bad. They ain't necessarily having sex, so why is that? One simple reason. They ain't attracted to most of the men out here. And when I say attractive, I don't just mean as far as being good looking. Now, for some women it's that. Some women it's just sexually attractive. For some women it could be mentally some type of behavior, attractive behavior to them. Whatever the case, in women's eyes, there's a shortage. Now, the issue I have with that, if they just said that, I think that would be fair. I think, if they just said, look, a lot of the guys out here ain't good looking, and some will say it, or sexually attractive, some will say it. I actually applaud them. A lot of guys don't want to hear it, but I'm like, well, shit, at least they honest. I prefer them. They don't always say it in the nicest way, but they just say, nah, guys out here don't look good. They not, not sexually attractive or whatever. But instead of issue with women, they'll come up with all this other shit. Like they'll say, oh, these guys out here ain't making money and all of that. They ain't making money. I gotta take care of them. I was like, well, there's some guys out here who got money. They got their own place. They got cars. They financially able. And you know what? A lot of them will actually work to be good husbands. Hell, some of them will even be, for all the talk about men not willing to deal with single moms, there's plenty of men who would do that. Women don't want them. They don't look good to the men. They don't look good to the women. It's just that simple. It ain't some deep ass shit. And see, women, they ain't honest about it. They complain and shoot. They could be in a group full of men. And they could be 100 men in the room. And the way women think, if they talk to their girlfriend and say, yeah, I was at this place, there was only about 10 men there. I mean, it is something that gotta be honest. Like people talk trash about the black pillars and everything, and I got some definite criticisms. And one of them is they at least get the part right. Women want attractive men, but the only thing I disagree with, they get very specific, like, oh, he has to have a square jaw and all that. No, different women got different shit, and I'm still even with that. They'll say it's only a few. I'm like, hold up. And it's not objective. Every single one said, because for one woman, that dude might have to look like supermodel of the world. For another woman, the dude might have to be tall. For another woman, it might have to be stocky. I know this badass. I've known a few badass women. They just want a certain stockiness to a guy. But a certain stockiness. Shit. Some women, hey, they like whatever they like, but it's always a shortage to the women. Because I'm going to tell you what, in general, this is very general. What I found with women is rare for a woman to actually get with the man she truly desires. I said that in my book, Sexual Chemistry. It's rare. It really is. What many when women say that word settle, that's what they mean. Now, they'll get with a guy. They might like the guy and everything, but he's not everything that they truly want. And it could be for myriad reasons. In fact, that's a big issue right now with a lot of these young men out here, and even older men being single. Women ain't settling the same like they used to. Used to be they would settle, if the man, willing to work hard, provide and all of that. But, women going to college more. Shoot, women cover shoot. And one thing, let me speak on that real quick. Just the nature of women. It's very funny how a lot of guys throw out the word hypergamy. And, they include it to mean a man. They think it means a man who looks better than the woman. No. That's the one area women want to be dominated in. They want to be the pretty one, and they should be. A man shouldn't want to be prettier or look better than a woman he's with. He shouldn't. That's kind of some moist shit, okay? I'm just going to put it out there like that. You shouldn't want to. If you deal with one, that's fine. And usually guys who might look better than a woman deal with one who doesn't, he looks better than, let's just be real. He's a dog. He just wanted some pussy. But in other areas, women prefer a man to be better. So true hypergamy is actually a woman moving up in social class. That's why you got so many women. They'll still want that guy who's making more money than six-figure guy. And even then, they ain't totally honest. They want him to look good too. Because there's plenty of guys out there making money. Plenty of guys out there, high 5 figures, 6 figures, they having trouble. With the women, they said he need to turn them on sexually. He need to look good or turn them on sexually. It's like, it's basically come down to those two things. Whatever it takes to turn her on, he needs to do either one. Right? But then, they also want him like slightly above her in other areas. Like I was bringing out the thing about these college graduate women. Many of them want college graduates. So if they got a BA, they want that man who got a JD. Oh, and the women who got like multiple degrees, well, guess what they usually want? And I've seen that so often. It's scary. It is scary. It is scary. They just want him above them. They need to look, and really, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it. He said, a woman needs to look up to a man in psychological respect. But the part nobody's talking about is he need to look good to him. He need to look good to him. Oh, and I know some guys will say, well, wouldn't a guy that look better than I look good to him? No, you gotta understand something. See, understand something. Whenever you're talking about women, you gotta understand their basic nature. Their basic nature is their nature is yin, no matter what, no matter how masculine. Yin. They want to draw attention to themselves. That's why, like, during weddings and stuff, everything is about them. That's just the nature. And they'll tell you that. But they still want you to look good. They don't want you to be totally busted or something. You know? At least most women. Some women, they prefer that. But in everything else, you need to be, like, stronger than them most of the time. Because you do get some women, they'll get with some guy who's shorter than them. You do get some. But whatever I talk about is always in general terms. There's always an exception. But whatever the case, even if in situations where the guy might be a shorter stature, he needs to be something attractive to them. You know? Because it's either he's the ideal man for them, or they settling. It's like what's their basement, what they willing to settle for. You know? But of course, when they talk in public, they never say all that. Seriously, very few women. See, the one woman who will say that, nobody likes it. The women like, shh. And like guys feel bad, like what's wrong with it? Like I always talk about that one seminar I did, had a bunch of women there, and I was arguing with that one woman talking about women don't mess with that with that guy just for sex. And then when we got outside, she said, oh yeah, she got a muscular young boy. But I always remember this other woman there, because we were talking about Mr. Goodbar. That was the focus of the seminar. You know, and I never forget what this woman said. She stood up. She said, well, I'm Miss Goodbar. You know, I might just want to use a man just for sex myself. Okay. I was like, okay. Oh, man. I started looking at her. I gave her that bruh man look. Like, damn, she looked kind of good. Okay. Yeah. But I was encumbered with a wife at the time, so I couldn't like really look at her. But that's the thing. That's the thing. And I'm going to tell you what, there are some women, I give some women, they try to make something work, or what they can get. Usually it's a situation where they honestly accept they can't do any better. They honestly accept it, so they'll deal with that guy. Only thing with them is how women cheat. If they get a shot at that ideal guy, well, there's a good chance they'll take it. Yeah, indeed, some guys, they even deal with it. They even give them a hall pass. Oh, man. I could do a whole channel about how women cheat. But that's how I know a lot of stuff. That's how I know. A lot of them, they'll just deal with that guy. It could be for myriad reasons, like I said. Sometimes, like if they lower class, it might be just for survival. You know? It might just be, you know, they might be like working class, but just making enough. Some guy show some interest. They like, hey, what the hell? Or they could be an attractive woman, which, yeah, I'm going to tell you what's weird. That's almost a subject in itself. I've noticed, like, very attractive women don't always have a dude. They got plenty of dudes come for them, but they don't always have a dude. But, of course, they picky. They in position to be pickier, but they can go pierce without one because they figure, well, shit, I can do better. Oh, man. And in fact, if guys just understood just that select and non-select thing, if guys understood that, it'd be a lot easier. Now, just to be clear, this ain't mean to say you can't find just that right woman who you ideal for. But you need to make it easier. You need to have more options with it. But that's the thing. They looking for a certain type. And because sometimes they get tired of, some women just get tired of settling for whatever. You know? Or the guy don't turn them on enough. The guy don't reach her basement. You know? But it's a serious thing because, you know, you got so many You got so many out here who want to really wonder what's up. Or they hear the women talking and they trying to talk to the women and stuff. Or they say, well, I got this, what about me? In fact, I wrote a article. This is back, it was either late 90s or early 2000s. I wrote an article and I entitled it, What About Me? And I did it in a voice of a man who, quite frankly, was getting passed over a lot. In fact, I was even thinking about writing a book about that way back in the early 90s, because I was seeing it so much. I told you, I've been doing this a long time. A few books. In fact, there was one book I was working on. I actually converted it to an on-demand video, Super Brothers, where I address some of these issues. You know, relationships, all of that shit. I'll put a link to that in the description box. But it still comes down to a basic thing. It still comes down, and anybody who's studied relationships for a while has seen this. Anybody who's really seen relationships, really been dealing with it for a while, has seen these realities and stuff. Because it's not about all this complaint. Like when you get these women, they get on TV or they get on panels and they say, oh, there's not even men who do this. First of all, here's how you break that shit down, right? Here's how you break that shit down. First, you look at what they're talking about. Now, if you talk about making money, there's plenty of guys out there. There's only a small percentage of guys who are just poor. I mean, seriously, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's no argument. You can check any government statistics. There's only a small percentage who are at the poverty level or unemployed. Most guys, most men, the majority of men, at least making a decent salary, and some are even making above average. It's not like if you talk six figures, you talk maybe 10% of men, but I mean, if you don't make six figures, but you making 90,000, shit, you are, hell, if you make it 55,000, you're already in the top 25% in the globe. You already at the top 25% in the globe, on the globe, right? Wait a minute, let me get here. It's actually, got some snow flurries out this joint. But you actually got a decent amount of men, so how can that be an issue? But now, if you start talking about college graduates and six figures and stuff, okay, you can see where the women outnumber them, and then where true hypergamy comes in, moving up in class, having that guy making more money. So that's something. Okay, you can understand that. But then when you look at some of the other stuff that women say they want out of a man, like all of them say, well, they want a man who's going to be caring. Okay. Well, first you got to get to know the man. There's plenty of guys out there. Look, let's be real. Most men out there really ain't trying to be players. Seriously, most men just want a decent woman. Not even supermodel of the world. There's plenty who do, but those are usually like the top G's and all of that, you know. But most guys, they just want a decent woman, you know. And really, they'll put up with whatever she got just to be with somebody. But the women don't want them. Unless they can have all the good personality traits. They can be the type who ain't going to cheat, ain't going to dog them out, going to show them some respect. All the personality types that, in general, in public, women say they want. And I'm going to get into that public thing in a second. Women say they want. But they're not attached to the package that women really want. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Now I say what they say in public. Now, one of the things I've talked about a whole lot. Which way should I go? I'll go this way. Is how women talk in private. Because I said, I've been privy. If you can be, I'm going to tell you what. If you can truly be cool with women, they'll tell you. I've lost track over the decades how many women have said how they really feel about shit. And I even asked them, they said, Ron, you ain't tripping. And look, I ain't bragging, I ain't trying to be conceited. They'll tell a man they find attractive the truth. They'll tell them right how they get down. They'll tell them how they have sex. I've had women tell me, oh yeah, I like doggy style. Oh yeah, I can suck that dick real good. Yeah, we be doing all that. If you select, they'll tell you. And then, that's only a certain level. Because I've had some women come back and say, seriously, women whose word I learned to trust. They say, nah, this is how we be talking. In fact, I've had women come on here and say, co-sign what I talk about. As far as what women want sexually, what they really want in a man. In fact, when I first came out with my book, Nice Guys and Players, I sold it to a lot of women. A lot of women bought it, even though it was for men. I even told her, I said, for men. But I said, shoot, okay, I'm getting some money out of it. Okay, let me give them a sales pitch. It was a very simple sales pitch. I was like, okay, ladies, nice guys and players. Okay, y'all know y'all want that guy who's a good guy, nice guy, caring and all that. Responsible. And they be like, yeah. But you also want that man going to knock it out the box. They're like, yeah. Well, in this book, I'm telling men how to do that. And they were like, they were buying it. Some women were buying it for their men. I was like, shit. I remember a young guy came to me and said his mom bought him the book. He was like, yeah. Teenage dude said, yeah, I'm Mr. Goodbar. But, that's basically it. And indeed, that's why I'll talk about sex more. A lot of guys, they ain't realizing that. Because it's actually easier. Because a lot of guys think it's just looks. And that plays a part. That definitely plays a part. But there's only so far you can go. Especially guys thinking they trying to look like, I don't know, some fashion model. I actually got something about models. I'm going to be talking about on my deep thought. I'm going to break down something that's going to fuck with some people's heads about modeling. I worked in the industry for a minute. But anyway, that's the whole thing right there, right? That's the whole thing. Because I'm going to tell you, man. One of the things that as a man that you need to really think about and really realize is women, they only going to say half of what they really want publicly. Only half. They ain't going to say what they truly want. And they're going to be full of it. In fact, that's why I like in public seminars and stuff, I would actually talk to women and specifically, I would talk to women and specifically say, look, what about that sex part? What about that sex part? I got a popo in front of me. I'm going to let him go. He might feel happy. See me talking in here. Say, well, sir, you can't have that on. Well, technically, I can't be on the highway with it on. And I'm watching myself. Oh, man. People got to understand background. Don't fuck with me on the law. I get technical with your ass. But anyway. But men just gotta understand that. And it's like, look, women aren't rocket science to deal with Seriously. And you just gotta know they want that. They just need to find some type of attraction for you. And that's some of that bullshit they be saying either. That's why I emphasize body game so much. Anybody can build their body. Anybody can build their body up. You know, just your whole presentation. You know, do something to look attractive. Because that's just their nature. That's just their nature. Shoot, that's why pimps and ministers dress the way they do. I'm serious. That's why, hey, seminaries that tell a minister, they say, hey, if you handsome, you looking good, you can build a good congregation. Seminaries. And if you take some of these ministers who got large congregations, shit, they ain't, you know, well, except with some exceptions. I ain't gonna call any names. I ain't gonna call any names who might be out of Dallas, but with some exceptions, except for some exceptions, you know, a minister, they gotta look a certain way. Women be in there, and we know ministers are players. You know, that power right there. That power. Shit, spiritual leaders. That's why you get some cult leaders and stuff. They look a certain way. That's how powerful it is. Like, because I know some guys will complain about it and all of that. I understand some guys will complain about it and say, oh, that's not right and all of that. But you got to deal with reality and go with it. Because if you that's really tapping into a woman's nature on a primal level. Really. Because think about something. What's the main thing a woman does? The main thing. She carries a man's seed. I mean, you got studies and everything from the animal kingdom, and they try to ignore it in the human kingdom, but, you know, they want the best genetics. You know? That's why I say get yourself in shape. It is what it is. It is what it is. Because even with the sex appeal, even regardless of what your face look like now, if you handsome face, hey, you doing some shit. But even if your face average, you looking healthy, generally healthy. I'm going to say that, generally healthy. You know, that's going to hit them on a subliminal basis. And then, you know, of course, you got to have some mindset thing. You got to have a mindset. But you're going to get more. You're going to get attention. That's just a woman's nature. They ain't wrong for it or anything like that. They ain't wrong. That's just their nature. You can't fight Mother Nature. You can't fight Mother Nature. Some dudes want to try, but you can't. I don't know what planet you on. And for the dudes who try, even if you think you got a woman, double back home one day. I'm dead serious. It's just, that's one of the things that we got to realize in general. You know? And trust me, I've tried to find other ways. Because I say, damn, that's going to leave a lot of motherfuckers high and dry. There's a lot of motherfuckers finding out right now. But women could actually help just by being honest. Because like I said before, there's a good possibility things will change if more men just hit the gym. More men deal with the attitude towards sex. You know. It ain't even about the money thing so much, or the character. Because see, women, like I said, women be wanting all those personality traits in a man they find sexually attractive. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. Because they know, look, let's just be honest. They can find a man who's going to be loyal, who ain't going to cheat on them easily. And some women will get a guy, some women, in fact, some women, certain personality types of women will get a guy who's less likely to cheat on them. Less likely to cheat on them, but yeah, the woman, yeah. Like I said, I could probably just do nothing but videos on women cheating. I know some people say, hey, Rob, do some videos on that. No. It ain't nothing to do on it. They cheat. I mean, really. I don't want to get too much into that. My thing is about building the men up and not just to get pussy. And my main thing, because I told y'all enough about how to get women. I'll be expanding my sovereign man videos some more beyond Saturdays gradually. Because saying some dudes still want the relationship stuff. Okay. Hit the gym. Hit the gym. Work on your physicality. Hit women on that primal level. Because that's all it is. And I'm going to say it too. I say it in front of shit. I get on national TV. I get on one of those shows, national TV, and say, look, let's just be real. Okay? Fuck the bullshit. Fuck the bullshit. You got to start being honest. You got to start being honest. And I'm going to tell you what, too. You know who else got to be honest? Because I talked enough about women. It's a basic point. They want men they find sexually attractive. Men got to start being honest about it. Men got to start being honest with themselves. They want to do all this extra shit thinking they're getting a woman, and let's be real, they struggle. Let's just be real, keep it a buck. They struggling because they don't want to fix themselves up physically. They don't want to hit the gym. Don't want to deal with their acne. You know, don't want to give themselves a good haircut. Fix their damn teeth. Shoot, women be inspecting men. And you go a long way if you just present a good physical specimen. It just is. Don't get mad about it. Now, I know some people will be like, well, I've seen this guy. He ain't look like a physical. He got that woman. Does he really have her? You in their bedroom? What they say, 40% of marriages are sexless? Shit. Like I said, you don't know hey, do you know what's up with him? Now, there's a chance she might like whatever he's presenting. Because that's why I say at the end of the day, don't worry about it. But just judging from the complaints of many men, I mean, like I say, 40% of marriages are sexless. Shoot, I know women who don't even know what I do for a living and shit, man, in this area. Been married talking about their husbands are roommates. They don't fuck them. I be trying to get the men some pussy. I be like, why don't you go home? I be like talking to them. Be like, why don't you give your man some, just to switch things up. They be looking at me like I said, go do something disgusting. Like, shit. It's like, damn. Seriously, because I be talking to a lot of women. I get them opening up. They be like, nah, I ain't messing with them. I ain't doing it. Seriously, that's a major issue. That sexless marriage thing. Shit. Or the cheating women thing. I mean, damn. All of it, the only thing all of these like phenomena having, or women not getting a man, that want to be with a man, not having sex. Shit. The only thing they all got in common, sex. So it's something to really think about, fellas, seriously. It's something you just got to deal with it. Now, I know some dudes are still going to get mad at the women. Get mad at them for what? Doing what is in their biology to do? If you're mad at them, don't get mad at them. Get mad at God. No, I'm dead serious. Get mad at God. That's just their nature. Don't fight it. Use it. Like I said, don't fight it. Use it. That's why I promote body game. I just said, fuck it. Use it. Seriously. Use it to get you attention and shit. To get you options. It's just that simple. Oh, man. So anyway, though. Oh, before I get off here, just real quick, I'm going to be in New York on April 2nd for the Game Kings 2 seminar with Mr. Lucario, Miles Cunningham, Kay Zagan, and Taekwondo. And it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good. Y'all definitely need y'all to show up. Y'all want to meet a brother in person. Y'all want to meet a brother in person and stuff. But, we can chop it up and everything. And a link for that's in the description box, all right? A link for that is in the description box. So, anyway. I'll get off of here, but yeah. Every time you hear a woman say, she challenge a woman directly, she say, shoot, some of these panels online, some of these panels where it's men and women. So men need to bring that shit up. Say, ladies, y'all be saying to men this or that. Why don't y'all just be honest and say the man you consider fine ain't doing something, or there's a shortage of them in your eyes? Seriously, because we gotta stop having these bullshit conversations. Yeah, I'm gonna call it bullshit conversations without just being 100% honest. Then we can get some shit done. That's why I'm gonna tell you what. That's why usually women in some of those subcultures that's dealing with sex, like tantra or polyamory, they get what they want because they honest about what they want. So anyway, that's all I got. I know this is a little long, but I had to address that issue, and shoot, that needs to be addressed. Because I'm gonna tell you what. Let me just say this: until people want to solve relationships and stuff, if you want to solve it, you gotta talk about everything. You can't just talk about one part. You gotta talk about sex is a part of relationships. Otherwise, everybody in the friend zone. So if you ain't gonna talk about sex, what's the point? And what each one wants sexually, what's the point? What is the fucking point? Because everybody can get along outside of the bedroom. That's easy. People doing it now. Everybody can get along, but that's when shit gets interesting. Once everybody butt naked, everything takes out, all that other shit go out the door. Shit, credit score, how much money you making, all that shit go out the door. Because it comes down to what a man and a woman going to do butt naked in the bedroom or in the kitchen. Or for some of my fellas more adventurous, pulling that mattress out to the living room, waiting for her to get home, rip those clothes off, throwing a mattress, tap that ass like you just got out of prison. So, anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.